to be really honest, there is a huge knowledge gap when it comes to AI, at least in the Indian market.
Founders today are dealing with the rapid change, uncertainty, and financial pressure.
You'll rather have to go through it to learn about it. AI is able to turn very complex data into a simple, easy to understand manner.
Start small, stay curious, and let the intelligent tools amplify our thinking, right? Hello everyone, this is Radhika, and today's episode is special because we are speaking to someone who sits at a very powerful intersection of finance, technology, and education. So, our guest, CA Karan Malhotra, is a finance professional, AI consultant, and the co founder of Finnect, an AI implementation training development agency that is helping professionals and organizations upgrade the way they work and make decisions in AI era. So Karan's journey started with the deep hands-on experience with the statutory audits, corporate finance, financial reporting, strategic advisory during his roles at Mazars and the Gupta Metal Sheets, where he worked closely on the internal controls, business projections, pitch books, and organizational decision support. At Finnect he now focuses on helping teams to adopt AI tools, automate workflows, streamline financial and operational processes, and build real industry-ready skills through practical training programs. And his mission is very clear to demystify the finance and AI and help founders and young professionals build a confidence in data-driven decision making. So, I'm very excited to dive into how AI is reshaping the financial clarity and the business intelligence for founders today. Hi, Karan. Welcome to the podcast. It's so amazing to have you here.
Hi Radhika, glad to be here. Love having amazing conversations with amazing people like you, and the pleasure is all mine.
Thank you so much. So, your work sits at such an important intersection of finance technology today. So, I think there are so many things that founders can learn from your journey. So, before we dive into artificial intelligence, so I just wanted to start with the person behind this expertise. So who are you, and how did you started your journey in finance?
So, well, like my journey in finance began because of chartered accountancy. So, like, since I was a kid, I was pretty studious, so I knew that I had to do something in studies only. And I was actually looking for a challenge, 11th, 12th standards didn't like give me that challenge. So I was looking that sort of, I wanted a little bit of difficulty when it came to studies. So that is why I thought of pursuing chartered accountancy. And well, CA did humble me, and CA did give me that opportunity to challenge myself. And it is because of CA where I feel that it gave me the confidence, and it gave me the ability to do hard work, and made me into the man that I am today. So I don't know why people have started to downplay chartered accountancy in recent times a bit, maybe because they feel like it's very difficult and they do not want to do something that is this much difficult. But I really feel that at least in the Indian market, CAs are really respected, and it basically prepares you for life. CA is tough, but so is life. So yeah, that is how my journey into finance started, and it is a misconception, that CA is just focuses on audit or accounts per se. It teaches you a lot of fields, including accounts, audit, taxation, then even corporate law for that fact. And they in the meantime they also introduced IT as a course. So it gives you a broad understanding of all the fields that are required in the field of commerce, based off which you can get into any field of your liking. So I mean, it was a difficult and tough time for me to get through CA, but once I was able to successfully pass chartered accountancy, I really think it developed my skills to do hard work. And it might sound cliche, but hard work is the key to success. So, yeah.
And what about Finnect?
Yeah, about Finnect. Well, during my time as a chartered accountant, well, I did certain stat audit related tasks at Muzzers, and I just found that stat. I found uh, it might offend some people, but I'm just sharing my opinion. I found statutory audit to be a bit monotonous. Like, it was not a field of my interest. So I rather was more intrigued by how finance works.
Hmm.
Right. So, we started providing services with regard to finance. We prepared pitch books, and we prepared financial models for our clients. And through that particular journey, we had already started to use AI a bit. You know, through the AI revolutions, we were finding ways and methods which could reduce our work to perform those tasks. And when we got into AI, that is when we got to know that the world is definitely going to change. I mean, the way work today is performed is going to transform by a huge bit. So, as we were using AI tools, we discovered something known as AI agents. Right. So we started preparing AI agents. So we were already providing services to our clients. So then we started pitching them AI agents related services as well. With that, we were also freelancing at that point. We are not doing it right now because we thought that we had to make Finnect a brand. So you can't make a brand out of any sort of thing while doing freelancing stuff. So that is how Finnect was discovered. And I mean, it was a really amazing journey, and I am really having a lovely time working at Finnect. So
Lovely. So, when did you decided like, okay, this is the correct time to start the Finnect, or why is it a requirement inside? Why consumer require to have Finnect in the as a brand?
yeah, again, while we were providing finance related services, we again discovered artificial intelligence, that it has humongous opportunity. And like, me along with my partners, we decided that we should definitely make the
Yes.
most out of this situation. And we needed to be at the top of the thing, so we dedicated all our resources, all our time towards learning AI. And like, to be really honest, there is a huge knowledge gap when it comes to AI, at least in the Indian market. Right, there's a huge AI market outside here. It is a bit limited right now because there is a huge knowledge gap. People don't necessarily know the scope of artificial intelligence.
Hmm.
And that is where we come in. We basically, let me just explain my business model a bit. So at Finnect AI, what we do, we have two specific branches. One is related to the education and training bit, wherein we are training corporate employees, basically how to use LLMs and AI tools to get through their day-to-day tasks. Right, they are customized sessions based on how they can use. We study and analyze the SOPs of that particular client, and then on the basis of the same, we design a structure and we provide workshops and training sessions to their employees. So that is one side of things. Apart from that, it is currently in the works, but we like I do not want to reveal too many details, but we are also planning on a certification course for general audience, and which would be a structured content around AI. Apart from that, we are providing AI implementation services, wherein we provide custom AI solutions for enterprises based on their SOPs. So we go into the organizations, understand their SOPs, and then based off that, we prepare customized solutions. So it is very important to clarify this, because whenever you tell people know that you are into AI, people generally assume that you must be developing a SaaS product out of AI.
Hmm.
So that is not something that we are doing right now. There's a reason to that as well. But we are providing customized services. So we go on, understand the requirements, or rather study their SOPs, and then guide them, provide them consulting services first as to what all are the repetitive tasks which can be automated. and based on the same, we develop AI related AI customized solutions for them.
Okay, that's so great. So I think you might have worked closely with the corporate finance teams and founders and maybe young professionals. So any specific lesson that you learned that why businesses are now struggling with finance clarity?
Finance clarity, well, that is a difficulty that every founder faces, so to say. And I mean, you can read so many books, you can listen to so many successful people. I personally feel you'll rather have to go through it to learn about it,
Hmm.
right? You will be going through that path, you'll have to take a leap of faith, you'll be making decisions that are wrong, but then through those wrong decisions you'll get to learn what are the right decisions, right? Nobody can pinpoint things to you that this is the right decision, this is the wrong one. The same decision can be right for a particular founder, might not be right for other person, right? So it is very important to define your own path, to make your own decisions. Obviously there are certain decisions that are definitely wrong, right? And one key like experience that I would love to share, a lot many times what happens is, as a founder, you know that amount of money is coming in, so you know there's a good amount of cash flow for you, and then you, on the basis of the same, you plan a particular cash outflow. But then if you're able to manage the cash flow timing between that inflow and outflow, if you're able to manage that time, well, that is very necessary, because that is something that I've experienced a lot many times. You expect some money coming in and then you plan a expenditure based on that, and then that money doesn't come in. So a lot many times you have to manage, you have to as a founder, as a business person, you have to do very little things as well as the main things of the business.
Hmm.
So you're bound to face difficulties, but through those difficulties are you going to learn and are you going to grow. So
So at that point, then what happened? What is the solution? Because it
well, you need to
yeah.
plan that. So that is what we got to know. You have to take that into consideration before taking any sort of a decision. You should have buffer in hand, so
Okay.
that you should have a case B scenario, wherein if case A doesn't work, you have money coming in from other sources as well.
Okay.
So again, like, you have to be calculative, but you have to take risks at the same time. You can't be over calculative, otherwise you won't be able to make decisions per se, right? There's no point thinking too much about a particular decision, that is not that relevant. So you need to prioritize.
Okay. Yes. Yes. And you also train and upskill professionals, which is a unique combination with finance consulting. So what
Right.
pulled you into education?
So again, like, it is our opinion that these fields are very much related. We provide AI implementation services. Alongside with that, we are teaching how to basically learn and implement AI. So these verticals go hand in hand.
Hmm.
We don't feel that people shouldn't be educated about AI, so that they also entered into the same field. It is we rather feel that it is a good thing that other people are also entering into the AI implementation space. They're also getting to know about the scope of AI, because as more and more people come in, we are able to build that community. We are able to build that awareness part of AI. More people are made aware of the scope of AI,
Hmm.
and it genuinely increases the scope and revenue for everyone.
So
So yeah, I mean, both the things again go hand in hand.
true. So this all these experiences bring us to a very important point that founders today are dealing with a rapid change, uncertainty, and financial pressure. So the real question is like how AI can help founders move from confusion to clarity when it comes for financial decisions, which is also our today's topic.
Right. So financial decision making, I mean, I would say can do a lot for you, but not all for you. So as
Hmm.
far as decision making is concerned, AI can facilitate decision making, but don't rely on AI to make decisions for you.
Hmm.
right? So you can make tools with which you are able to I would say automate your current existing workflows, current existing SOPs, as long as you are able to think in mind, no, that this is the procedure that I am going to follow to make this particular decision. That process can be automated, right? If you want to get a report, let's say you have employed certain people to make a report out of your bank statements to analyze the expenses that have been incurred for the month. That report can be generated out of AI,
Hmm.
right? Based on the same, AI is very capable of building really good dashboards out of data, right? So and now on the basis of the same, you are able, AI basically facilitates decision making. You are able to make decisions using those reports, right? Rather than simply asking AI what should I do,
Hmm.
you should be facilitating it to make your, to make your decisions, rather than asking it to make your decisions for you.
Agree. So like
So yeah, I mean,
clarity is not luxury, that it's should be like protective actually.
correct, correct.
So when founders make decisions based on their gut feelings and instead of data or insight, so what risk does that create for businesses?
It again, it does create risk, but then as a, like, I'll tell you the difference. There would be two kind of people, right? One are the startup founders, right, who are managing the finances of their startup, and the other one would be maybe a CFO of an MNC, right? So there's a difference in a way in which they would be making their decisions. As a startup founder, you will have to make decisions because you do not have a history of data on the which you can base your decisions, right? A MNC CFO can have a long history of financials based on which he can make analysis and predict certain patterns on the basis of which he could base his financial decisions, right? But as a startup founder, you do not know which decision is right and which one is wrong.
Hmm.
So you, again, as a startup founder, you will have to take a leap of faith. You'll have to trust your instinct and you'll have to trust your instinct to some level. At least you can have some amount of data backing that, but then again, what sort of decision is right and what is wrong, you'll only know through experience.
That is like so true. Like very essential also to reduce the uncertainty, right?
Right, right.
So does the AI make forecasting and budgeting more accurate and more real time and more founder friendly? So and how does it do that? What is the procedure?
Well, we have developed a lot of AI implementation tools for our clients. If you allow me, I'll show you those use cases. Well, I'll have to check if they are currently working, because at the end of the project, we generally migrated to the back end of the client. So I'm not currently sure if they're working. Let me check if it's working. I'll show you certain use cases. So right. So what generally happens is we understand what sort of requirements the client is facing. Let's say if you're rather you run a marketing agency, right? Let's say we have a conversation about your workflows and your requirements, right? You serve certain of your clients, you serve certain clients wherein you want you know there is a person employed who is responsible for making conversations with the client's users, right? Let's say they uh, need certain clarity with regard to your user policies or terms of use, right? In that case, a chatbot can be developed based who is trained on your terms of service data, and on the basis of the same, you do not have to employ somebody to go through that to and fro with the user, right? The chatbot can do it for you. It is a very basic example of what AI agents can do for you. This is a simple chatbot related example.
Actually, this morning only I used N8N if you know about it.
Right. We make most of our backend on n8n itself. It's a very awesome tool.
N8N. And yeah, so I utilize it for a proposal, and it made me like a proper proposal, like using N8N and Gemini Pro. So I
Right.
was able to make a proposal to a client meeting that I had this morning within 15 minutes.
Right. So with N10, you are able to structure, you are able to give it like step one, step two, step three type instructions. And like just simply using prompts on LLM might not get your job done. But if you're able to develop systems using AI at the back end, you will be able to get your task done. So, yeah, I'll give you an example, right, of a job that we did for a credit rating agency. So, what was their work? They need to generate. They will get annual reports as the input, right, and then they had to generate credit analysis report out of it, right. And now it might sound simple at the very beginning, at the surface level, but it involves too many employees work. And currently it is saving around 30 hours per day, I mean employee hours per day for them. So I'll tell you what their procedure used to be. So they will get annual reports. Annual reports could be of any format that needs to be turned into a specific format template, right. They have a specific format of their own, on the basis of which they prepare the credit analysis report, right. So based on the what do you say, this thing, annual reports, they have to prepare templated financial reports, right. The same financial statements but in a templated format. And they have definitions. So let's say, for example, they have revenue from operations in the very beginning of the PNL, right. And for that they have defined that if these line items are there, we want these to be bracketed under revenue from operations, right. So what that tool is doing, if you give that definitions tool to ChatGPT, normal LLM, right, it is huge amount of data, it won't be able to process it perfectly. But if you structure it in a manner wherein you are giving ChatGPT only limited amount of context, right, and limited amount of data, in that case it will be able to perform its work way better. And you can develop a whole system out of it, so that you do not even need to write prompts, right. It is an automated activity. You have developed a tool, you just I'll just show you, I mean, so this is the tool that we've got. So what you need to do, right, you just upload, I'll just upload the sample files. I'll check if I have those files with me. Yeah, here. Right, I'll just upload the two sample files into it, and as soon as I hit run, it is going to give me the whole template that I was talking about, basis which they prepare the credit analysis report. Right, so it gives out the, so I've uploaded only two files. That is why it is simply giving me data for 2023 and 2024. And okay, there's, yeah. So based on the same, if I hit generate dashboard, it is also able to make this. These are the metrics that were given to us by the client themselves, which they wanted in the tool. So this sort of a file can be generated using AI. It is basically automating their whole procedure. It is saving them 30 hours worth of work each day, and they just simply have to upload the raw file, and the rest of the thing AI will do it for them.
That is really nice, and dashboard is also very nice.
Right. Right. Apart from that, I'll show you another example. So this is a report. So this particular client, I'll just explain his business model. This is a drop shipping client of ours who, what his what he asked his employees to do was that on a daily basis he has a list of 1,000 SKUs, right. 1,000 SKUs he has. And on a daily basis, what his employees were doing was that they used to go to his, let me just explain his business model first, rather, otherwise the audience might get confused a bit. So what his business model is, he purchases from Amazon US and sells it on Amazon India, right.
Okay.
and his daily, like his employees daily task involved that he has a list of 1,000 SKUs. For
Hmm.
each of the SKU that he had, what they had to do, they had to go to Amazon US, right? An Excel cost calculator sheet was given to them. So what that did was, they since the purchase price is in US, you have to convert it in Indian pricing. You have to take into account the transportation and the carriage cost, and based on that you have to calculate the landed cost in India. I mean,
Hmm.
the amount of the total amount of the purchase cost that it will incur you to get the product in India, right? Then that is compared with the Indian pricing, and based on the same, if there are good margins that you are getting out of the same, then in that case, basically you'll make the purchase order. So this is an engine which enables you to find those arbitrage opportunities,
Wow.
right?
Nice.
So this is basically, as soon as you run the tool, it is able to do everything for you. Plus, if you click on any of the products, you are able to see the whole calculation metrics that I was talking about. That this is
Hmm.
the US price of this product, this is the weight of the product. Now the weights are manual inputs that are might not be correct, because these are just sample inputs. This, right? So the price would be correct for this particular product. ASIN is basically the product code that is mentioned on the Amazon website. So this gives you a very good overview and calculations of each of the products. Then it gives you top 50 winners, bottom 50 losers, and then missing data for some of the data for which it was not able to fetch Indian pricing. It will give you that data, right? It'll now there might be a reason to this as well, because certain products which are sold in US might not be getting sold in India,
India. Okay.
right? So that is why it is being placed in the missing items list. So you can review on the basis of the missing data list what sort of tool, what sort of SKUs are getting detected by the tool, and what needs some sort of a review with regard to the master file.
Wow.
Right, and it basically gives you a good dashboard to enable you to make the decision making.
Yeah, like that's how we can find the hidden values in the financial data, no?
Right, right, right.
Amazing. That's very nice.
Thank you.
So I think like I know about myself, but numbers might overwhelm founders very easily, especially when business is moving very fast. So this is how like how what are the like proper things that pointers, key solutions that you provide, or any intelligent tools which can make founders work less stressful and more empowering, so that they founders like to be in control, I think so, like,
Right.
but sometimes you cannot manage it everything. So what are the AI agent tools that we can use as to manage our financial stress basically?
Well, Radhika, I'm a numbers guy myself. So, I mean, I do not have any sort of issue going and skimming through tables, but I do get the point where people might get overwhelmed with just watching numbers, and tables and dashboards are one thing which helps you give a very good surface level information and a averaged out position of the whole scenario. So I mean, as I showed you that any sort of data can be transformed into really good dashboards
Hmm.
based on which decisions can be made, right? So, and the key metrics can also be defined. It's not that that is not customizable. So this sort of a tool or a report, if you try to generate manually each day, it is going to take a lot of time, right? That is why most of the people earlier were working out of tables only,
Hmm.
right? Who will take the effort of turning into a HTML file with the sorting, filter features and stuff like that, right? So it would be very difficult. But nowadays, with the use of AI on a daily basis, my client is getting that report, right? He is able to instantly know about the arbitrage opportunities that are there, and the kind of profits that he could make based on those, and decisions he could make based on those, right? So AI is able to turn very complex data into a simple, easy to understand manner, and it is AI generated reports definitely can be easily compare with the reports generated through Excel or Power BI, so to say.
Hmm.
I mean, AI has gotten so advanced that you do not even need to give it. If a lot many times, what happens is generally we ask our clients to give us the key metrics that they want in the dashboard, right? Because that is the most important thing that is useful for them. But if they are not able to give us the same, even if we are not giving anything into AI, we're just giving it a good prompt to make a dashboard based on key metrics, it is able to generate some really valuable outputs out of the same. I
Hmm.
mean, we definitely do make tweaks based on that, what sort of information we feel is more useful. But the kind of dashboard it is able to prepare right now is just amazing. And that is why the point, when we actually saw what AI is able to do, that is when we decided that we had to get into this thing.
Agreed. Like I can connect it because I'm not a finance person, but I am a marketing person. So we have analytics data of our clients and we need to show it to them. And the Looker
Right,
Studio of Google and is doing a great job in making the dashboards also. Like I have been using it for like past 5 years, but the way it has evolved using the AI right now, the past 1 year especially. So it's
right,
very good. Like the templates they are providing, it's very easier for a layman who just
right,
started their business to understand what marketing efforts are going into.
correct, correct.
And like you said, now that major key matrices, we get it from client and we just add it to it, and it provides the whole report by itself, which is
Right.
great. So, do you have anything to say to future of the finance teams? Like, with how do you see finance roles are evolving?
I mean, not just the finance roles. I think all of the industries are going to involve,
Hmm.
and I think there is going to be a major shift in the way things are being performed today and how they are going to be performed in the future. And AI is going to have, I mean, no matter how many people say that there is a huge AI bubble, I do recognize that. I'm not denying that fact, but doesn't change the fact that AI is going to bring a huge shift in the industry, in the way how things are currently working. I mean, the bubble is just concerned with the pricing of the AI companies, right? So even if the bubble burst, doesn't really, you know, uh, any way downplay the usability or the use cases of AI,
Hmm.
right? So AI is definitely going to be a huge role. So what I feel nowadays, what everyone should be focusing on is developing a technical skill alongside with developing AI skills.
Hmm.
They should be, let's say, if I'm a finance guy, I would know everything about finance plus how to achieve these finance related activities using AI as well. If there are really good AI tools in the market that help you make those finance related decisions, you should be aware of the same.
Hmm.
So that is what my suggestion would be.
So, like, if we go back to past 20 years, I don't think so. The finance people would be interested in knowing or learning tech. Like,
Right, right, right. But now it is a necessity.
it is a necessity. And it doesn't matter which field you belong to right now. Even
Right,
if you are a doctor, you need to learn about AI.
right, correct, correct.
So I think that comes up to the last question, that any advice that you think that founders should feel lost or overwhelmed when it comes to financial decision in this fast moving environment, as you can see, like especially with the finance founders. So if they have their businesses and they had been running smoothly, but AI has interrupted some way somehow their businesses. So what kind of advice would you like to give it to them?
I mean, founders are already trained for any sort of a any sort of drastic change in their industry. They're accustomed to change. If anything is not changing, that is rather unusual for them. So, I mean, everyone has got to be prepared for that, and it is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Every sort of business is going to see a good boom, and a good increase in their revenues, a reduction in their costs by implementing and using AI.
Hmm.
Obviously, there is going to be a employment shift. I'm not saying there is going to be unemployment, but there is going to be a change in the shift of what sort of work is actually required to be done by people. So I mean, for founders, I would say it is very important that they're able to manage their cash flows and able to do good outreach. Right, at the same time, the team is really really important. I mean, like, if you have a good team, you are bound to be successful. There's no doubt about that. Important to have good partners, and that's pretty much it. If everybody is putting in a lot of efforts, if everybody is as enthusiastic and as ambitious as you will definitely succeed.
Yeah, like I just like when you said this, no, like team is so important. I got an example. I recently learned about epigamia. Have you heard about that?
No, no,
Yogurt,
no.
yogurt. It's a Greek
Right,
yogurt.
right, right,
So what happened last year, 2024, suddenly the founder died and through an
okay,
heart attack, but the team took over until the another CEO came forward. By
right,
so it was so great. Like for around, I think I read about it and it was so motivating because the team of around 140, 150 people were there and they were all were standing up, taking the initiative of the product, and it took around 9 to 12 months for another CEO to come forward and take over the team.
right,
So it was so amazing. Like it is so, and their sales didn't drop. Not a
right,
single drop you could have seen. Like otherwise, I have seen working in an environment that people are like, okay, we are getting salaries and okay, but still
right,
that should be the impact of that founder as well. He must have been a very good leader. So
right.
that's how he was.
That sort of enthusiasm and participation is required from each and everyone in the team.
Each and
And if
everyone.
you're able to achieve that, I'm honestly telling you, you have done 90% of the work.
Correct.
It is very difficult to be able to maintain, first of all, get a good team and maintain it with you.
Maintain it with
So,
you. True.
yeah.
Agree. That Karan, this has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you for breaking things down
Thank
and
you, Radhika.
showing us how AI is not here to complicate finance, but to simplify the decision making
Right,
and also give founders some clarity that they have been missing. What I really love about your perspective is that it brings the confidence back into decision making process, whether someone is a founder, finance professional, or even a student. So we can start small, stay curious, and let the intelligent tools amplify our thinking, right?
right, right, correct.
So, to conclude this, to everyone listening, I hope this episode gave you a fresh lens on how AI can help you understand your numbers better, plan with more confidence, and build a business that grow intelligently. So, if you want to connect with Karan or explore the AI implement training through Finnect, all the links will be shown in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Radhika. I'll see you in the next episode as we continue to explore the future business is how really shaping today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karan.
Thank you, Radhika.